Let's get excited. The Seattle Seawolves hoping to book a ticket to the conference finals later this month. On Sunday, July 21st, they will face the San Diego Legion in the 2024 Major League Rugby Western Conference semifinal. And this morning, we have head coach Alan Clark here, along with Dan Creel, a Seawolves center, and Mac Mason, a fly half with the Seawolves. Gentlemen, good to have you. And what a great run this has been. This has got to be fun, right?
It's awesome to get to the quarterfinals. I don't know how much fun it's been for these boys at times. They've been working exceptionally hard, particularly in the temperatures recently. But yeah, for the last 7 months, we've been working really hard to get to this stage of the season, get to the knockouts, and that's what it's been about.
Talk about working out in the heat that we've been dealing with right now. I mean, I can't even imagine going out and playing rugby in the heat that we've been having.
No, for me, where I'm from in Australia, the heat doesn't really bother me. The last 5 months were a bit of a grind with the wet and the cold, but now I think, the heat will definitely help us coming into next weekend.
And so this is an advantage for you.
Yeah, I definitely think so, Bill. It's been pretty cold here the last couple of months, so it's good to have the sun out, and going into the playoffs with some sun out is great. So
Dan and Mac, I'm noticing you guys are not Seattle natives, I'm guessing. Where did you guys get recruited from? How did you end up here in Seattle at the Seawolves?
I'm originally from South Africa, been here for 2.5 years with my wife and 2 kids. Got hold of Clarkie a couple of years ago, and he brought us out here. So,
yeah, originally for me, I was from Australia. This is my first year in Seattle this year, but I was originally in Austin in MLR until that club folded, and then ended up here.
And you probably had a pretty good indication that Seattle has a pretty good club. I mean, Alan's been running a pretty tight ship up here for a while. A couple of championships already, looking for a third. So, I mean, what was the recruiting process like?
I mean, my thing was, the Major League was a new rugby, professional rugby set up in America, and it looked really interesting. We had a few South African friends that were over here. We just came over and looking to add our value to the Seawolves and hopefully get another championship.
And so what is the preparation like as you get ready for a quarterfinal like we're getting ready for now, as opposed to, the last 7 months and preparing for a weekly match?
I think you see the caliber of your squad coming through now. Dan and Mac and, the whole squad as a whole have really added to where we are now and been part of that journey. But we've assembled a tremendous squad, and this is why they came to Seattle in the first place. And you see that caliber coming through, that excitement, that enjoyment, and maybe the 1%ers of accuracy improve on a more regular basis, because there are no second chances when you get to knockout rugby.
And so, Clarkie, as the players call you, what's your background in rugby? How did you end up here in Seattle?
Well, I've been involved in rugby for a lot longer than these guys, but as a player and then as a coach overseas. And I got recruited through the club, and when I came here initially, it was as a consultant, and I really fell in love with the project and the people who run the club and believed in it and the growth of the game here in the US. And, as such, I've signed a contract to be here for a period longer. But ultimately, it's about results and growing, results on the field and off the field. And as a club, we're driven to win championships, but we're driven to win them in the right way, engaging with our community, and playing a brand of rugby that excites new fans as well as the fans who currently watch the game.
Yeah, and the fans here in Seattle have definitely picked up on that. Now, you've played San Diego twice this season. So how does this matchup differ from preparation for a previous one this season, for example?
There's going to be an added edge. We all know what's on the line. Both teams are high caliber sides. San Diego have a great roster and a good coaching team as well. So it's going to come down to particular moments in the game and winning the battles within the game within the game, if you like, and taking our points when they're on offer. And at times we're going to have to defend our line because they're going to get entries to our line. So those fine margins are what you prepare for. But for us at the moment, it's planning well and preparing well. And then when we come to the occasion on July 21, we perform to our absolute best.
You have 2 stars on your shirt there to denote the 2 championships that this club has won in the past. With that, though, comes kind of a target on your back. Everybody's gunning to take down the defending champ. So, in that regard, is that tougher? Does that provide motivation? How does that work as you go through the season?
Not really for me. I think I came here because it's an established club and a successful club. I think that's sort of the legacy you try to leave and want to continue on with, and obviously add another star to the shirt. But pretty much from here on in, it doesn't matter how you win. It's as long as you win.
And finally, it's been 7 seasons here in Seattle for the Seawolves, and there's really been a bond that's been created. You touched on it earlier between the fans and the club. Talk about how that motivates the team on the field and just the energy in that building for, say, a quarterfinal match like we're going to see on the 21st.
Like maybe Dan can answer from his perspective, but certainly as a coach, the closeness with the fans and the understanding of the game and the understanding of the effort and the quality that's been displayed on the field has been exceptional, and the motivation they give to all of us is a special type of energy that really fuels you to deliver for them as well as for the boys on the field.
Well, the boys, congratulations on your success, continued success in the quarterfinals on the 21st. And by the way, you can watch the Seawolves take on Legion SD. That is next Sunday, July 21st on Fox 13 Plus. Our coverage begins at 6 o'clock.